Good morning, y'all. Listen, I am about to hook up with two of my favorite human beings on the planet. Y'all know these knuckleheads right here.
What up?
Look out! Look at this weird camera thing I got going on right here. Let's get the other way. Let's backlit. We are backlit people anyway. So, all right, guys, tell us what we're doing today. Wait. Actually, I forgot to introduce y'all because it has been a minute. So this is the man, and this is the other man right here. Or on certain days, this is the man, and this is the other man. Anyway, this is Nick and JG from T and Moving Waters. Talk to us about what we're doing.
We're going to go catch some giant smallmouth, dude.
Okay.
On swim baits is my plan.
In a crazy creek that just had a huge flood, so it's going to be
No
an
telling
adventure.
what we're going to run into.
All right, so let me just say this. You know a trip is going to be good when the text message exchange goes like this. Hey, where are we meeting tomorrow? Let's meet at McDonald's. By the way, do you have a chainsaw? I'm like, not right now, but I'm working on getting a new one. Okay, we're probably going to need it. So that means we're going to be dragging our kayaks over some strainers, or as fishermen like to call them, log jams. Here we go. Fish on. That's a toad, brother. Golly. All right, guys, so we made it out to the river. We went and shuttled one of the vehicles down to the takeout, and you know, there's an old saying that you never fish the same river twice, but this thing has made some major changes. Talk to us about the changes you guys seen right out of the gate.
Well, I mean, right here it used to be like a 4-foot deep hole, so that's
Now
a
it's
little bit
gravel.
different change, and it kind of moved over this direction.
And the river used to be split right here, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And now it's just one channel.
the last 10 years it's been split.
And this hole wasn't here.
That's one of our favorite thing about river and creek fishing, because once you get a big flood, this is a brand new river.
Man, this creek came up like 18 or 19 feet, so there's no telling what we're going to run into downstream. And it's what we love about it, man. Who knows what we're going to see.
Yeah, in fact, at the place where we're going to take out, I was following JG in, and I saw mud like a half mile up the road from where we actually parked the vehicle. So we have no idea what we're about to encounter, but we are going to hopefully encounter some big old smallmouth. Here we go. You got a little deeper draft, Nick? Is that what you're saying? Maybe a lot. All right, time to get in my boat, head down the river. JG just caught that fish in 0.30 inches of water, tucked up to a bank cut. Hold that joker up to the camera real fast. Is it a swim bait fish?
Yeah, man. 4-inch bull shad, baby.
All right, show us what you caught it on, brother. Man, that's a gorgeous fish.
4-inch
Like
bull shad.
Camo. Gorgeous. Yeah, buddy.
Custom painted by myself.
Oh, yeah. What did you name it? Did you name it? What's the paint job called?
Creek chub.
Creek chub.
It'll give you a little chub after you catch the fish on it.
I love it. guys, so we are on the river, and one of the things that I have a tendency to always try to cover in my river videos is 2 ground rules here. First of all, don't ask me what river we're on. We don't do that because these rivers are precious, and if we blast them out there, they might not be that precious anymore. And then the number 2 rule is, if you know what river we're fishing, don't be that guy that posted in the comments. That almost defeats the purpose. Well, that really defeats the purpose. So, 2 rules. Don't ask me what river we're on. If you want to go fishing, call Nick and JG. Actually, and myself, because I'm going to be hooking up with these guys and guiding a lot for the rest of the year and from here on out. So, if you want to go fishing on this river, just call us. Call us. Yeah, call us. That sounds good, don't it? Give us a call. But if you know the river, don't post it. Don't be that guy or gal or person identifying as something other than guy or gal. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it.
Identified as a fisherman.
Yeah, I identify as angler.
There you go, angler. I'm sorry.
I'm getting the shirts made that say that.
I fucked up again.
Identifies as angler. Why is that not a pronoun that you can select? Angler. That's what it should be.
You can select any one you want.
No. They got certain ones in there. They got school bus, but they don't got angler. Yeah, you can identify as a school bus if you want to. He ain't no monster, but we on the board with the smallmouth. It's the right species at least. That joker was hanging on a rock about as big as Joe Biden's attention span. Look at that pretty thing right there. Got him.
Yeah, I saw him swirl.
Oh!
Yeah, dude, I saw him flash on it. That was cool.
All right, Chad.
Water's so clear, you can see fucking everything.
Chad, I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, there he goes.
Chad,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything, but earlier,
Oh, there's 2 or 3 right there.
but do you remember the Senko trick I taught you when I first met you?
Look at all the fish right there. They're just cruising.
Do you remember that Senko trick I taught you, Chad?
I think I remember one you're claiming.
Specifically for smallmouth.
Yeah,
On
that was more of a drag issue. So I pulled over to take the safe route around that and do a little portage right through that. And this little joker just bombed the run. And then on the other side of it, look what was waiting for him.
Yeah.
Son, are you kidding me? Pretty fish, son.
Beautiful fish, man.
Yeah.
Look at the colors in that peck in there, man.
Yeah.
The greens and brown. These are some of the most beautiful smallmouth in here, dude. So mean. That fish was angry, dude. All right, guys, so we have come to the inevitable when it comes to fishing these Tennessee rivers, especially after big storms. Let me bring this brightness down some. And that is that we have a complete blockage right here, which is why that guy asked me last night if I had a chainsaw. So we're gonna figure our way through it. Nick has already got out and went around to scout and see if we can go through the woods. That doesn't look like a great option. JG's the smallest, tiniest, and most expendable of the 3 of us. So he's trying to go through first to see if he can wiggle his way through. There's 2 things you want to keep in mind here. The one thing you don't want to do is get sideways up against a strainer. A strainer is basically a log jam. It's the paddle sports word or the whitewater word for log jam. Basically the wood is stacked up and it is straining the water through it. If you get on the front side of that where the water pressure builds up, the last thing you want to do is lean away from it. If you lean away from it, the water pressure is going to build up on the inside of your kayak right here, push you further up, and you're going to go swimming. Everything's going to get washed underneath it, including potentially you. So strainers are dangerous. Be sure you know what you're doing, or get out of the water and go all the way around. Always approach these things with caution. Take every possible precaution. And like I said, there is no pride loss in going out through the woods and around. And in most cases, that's not only the best option, in a lot of cases, that's the only option. So we're going to work our way through this roadblock, this obstacle, and we're going to keep on fishing for these. Man, there are so many big smallmouth in here. We just have not been able to connect with them. They didn't start to bite till later in the day. And now that it's later in the day, they're seeing us before we see them. I think this is going to be one of those places where you come at night, or you come in here and you camp and you take your time and you work really, really slow and really methodical and just work each pool with a really long cast. But scouting expedition, we're catching fish, but we're seeing even bigger fish. So anyway, here we go. Well, we had some dry water for a second. Dry water, some empty water, but that little dude right there just thumped it. And, well, I guess we really haven't had dry. Let me get that one back in the water. We haven't really had dry water because Nick's been running point and missed about 4 or 5 pounders. And would have had a total of 20 pounds and 4 fish if he hadn't have missed them all. The compilation goes something like this. Ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, 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 oh, and then a tirade of stuff that we can't share on here without adding some bleepage. So guys, I got to tell you, we are seeing a freaking substantial amount of big fish. Part of what we're doing right now is this is a scouting trip after these big storms that came through Tennessee to determine how fishable this water is. And as such, we are fishing way too fast to truly, oh man, that went a big one right there, to truly dial in these big fish. But this is gonna bode well for the future because there are a lot of big fish stacked up in new places, and there's a lot of big fish that are still in some of the old haunts. So part of the stuff that I don't normally film and show you guys, so we're gonna bring you a lot more of this work product, unpolished, behind the scenes, how you find them kind of stuff. So anyway, down the river we go. Oh, oh dude, the bow up, son. Blew up. I thought it was a monster.
I did too. He's fighting like a monster. He was taking off.
It was fun though, wasn't it?
Pretty dude, yeah.
Makes you think it won't necessarily that other one would have to be as giant as we think.
Yeah.
I would guess for sure that was a 20-incher. That blow up.
No, stop letting him off the hook. That other one was 22 and a half inches. Golly. Hey, your lunch is floating away.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Which way y'all want us to go? Behind you or over here? Well, I appreciate it. Man, we've had our chances. We've missed quite a few big ones. We've caught quite a few small ones. So, you know, but, what's that?
What are you fishing with?
Horny toads. I'm fishing with a Zoom crawl, just buzzing it on the top, a whopper flopper, and one of us is catching them on a swim bait pretty good.
Okay. Cool deal.
Yeah, man. How about y'all? Y'all had any luck?
He and I have caught one about 3 pounds,
Okay.
and we've caught a few smaller.
Sweet. What are y'all throwing?
Soft plastic jerk bait for me,
Oh.
Helgramite for him.
I've been talking myself in and out of throwing that all day.
The Helgramite?
Yeah, a little soft plastic jerk bait.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
y'all have a good one too.
We'll come around behind you so we don't bust your spot open, sir.
Up ahead of you guys, man. There's a pile of wood and some
deep water for sure. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Might be fun trying to get around it.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Y'all have a blast.
Well, the creek's great for kayaking. Right now, it's about a foot or two high.
Yep. Yeah, it's good, man.
Got it.
There you go. I'm gonna film you. Yeah, buddy. What'd you get him on? Helgramite? Sweet. Oh, largemouth, yeah. We caught a pretty good spot back there. Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one. Well, guys, that's gonna do it. We gotta load all this stuff up, drive back to my truck, and then head back. So listen, this was not one of those trips where we caught a bunch of monster fish, but this is the work product that goes into catching a bunch of fish. We kind of divided and conquered a little bit on the lures. JG was throwing a couple things. Nick was throwing a couple things. I was experimenting a bit. We pretty much caught them on everything we threw. But man, we saw a lot of big fish that we didn't catch. So takeaways from this trip are, if we had it to do over again, we would obviously stop ahead of these bigger pools, fish them a little bit more thoroughly, spread out a little bit so we weren't running up on them like a posse, and slow down. Obviously we had the time that we had today. We could have fished it a lot slower, but part of the problem was we didn't know if we're going to have 50 log jams, 0 log jams, or find a spot that was impassable in the river. So we had to plan for that. So what we would normally do in about an 11-hour float, 10-hour float, 9-hour float on the low side, on the high side, we did it in about 6. So we were booking it. The water's up a couple feet. It's way down from what it was. As you can see, the water's been way up at the top of that hill right there. So this is part of it, you know. And you guys let me know in the comment section if you like this kind of stuff. I'm going to get JG real quick to kind of give us a rundown. I think he caught the biggest fish. And other than the fact that he was bird dogging out front and hogging all the fish, he also caught the most fish. So I'm going to flip the camera around real quick and let him show you what his most productive pattern of the day was. Give everybody the rundown on what you had going on right there.
So today, man, I was throwing the Mike Bucca 4-inch resin bull shad. This is not the plastic one made by Catch Co. This is actually the one you get directly from Mike Bucca, made out of resin. This fish is accounted for so many big smallmouth for us. My biggest smallmouth came on this bait at 23 incher. This one was painted by me, and as you can see, it's had a ton of abuse.
So when you say painted by you, what paint job are you going for there? Is that a brim that you're looking for?
No, it was actually a fish called a creek chub out
Creek
of here.
chub? Okay.
But it also is fun because, like we said, man, after you catch a fish on a bull shed, you get a little chub. So it just adds to it. But man, in all seriousness, man, this fish, as Chad told you, man, I caught the bigger fish today, and this bait draws out big fish, man. There's just no doubt about it. And the other thing that's great about it, man, there's nothing fancy about it, man. You just chunk and wind. And they absolutely demolished. Every fish I got today had both hooks in its mouth too, which meant they were freaking eating it. So they were just literally gnawing on it.
One thing I like about this bait, to point out real quick, is that you see that S pattern right there? It just comes through the water. You get a little bit of clicking from the body and a little bit of clicking from the hook. So I think that also draws them in, because have you seen fish come to that thing from like 30 feet away?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it also, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it also gets like a squeak.
Yeah.
And I don't know what if that squeak, you used to hear about people talking about buzzbait squeaking, but that squeak definitely is something that brings them in, man. Now, I will say, guys, make sure you're not throwing this on wimpy tackle. This is 30-pound braid. You don't want to break this thing off by throwing it on too light a line. The fish do not care, man. You can see I have no leader tied directly to the bait, no leader needed. And then we're throwing it on a medium heavy rod. So don't try and go throwing it on the wrong size rod, or you're going to snap this thing off, and then there goes 50, 60 bucks down to the bottom of the drink.
Wait, did you say 50, 60 bucks?
Yeah.
Is it worth every penny?
Every damn penny,
Every
dude.
penny.
Yeah. As you can tell, man, this thing's had some abuse. You can see I'm already starting to, the wire, I've had put so much abuse on, it's already starting to beat through the sides there. But dude, it's worth every penny, man.
Yep. Cool. All right, guys. Appreciate it, man. Hey, and anyway, guys, I had a blast on the river today with that knucklehead and that knucklehead. And let me flip this camera back around real fast. We're going to do a little add Chad to the trip. We'll film it. You'll get some comic relief of watching the three of us fish, and you'll learn something. So anyway, guys, if you're interested in booking a trip, I'll put a link in the description box to some of our other trips that weren't scouting trips, the ones we were out there actually laying the smack down. A lot of you guys have been around the channel for a long time, have seen the videos that we've done with Nick and JG in the past. Well, we're going to be doing a lot more of them. We're going to try to do 1 or 2 a week on average from here on out. So y'all stay tuned for that. I am finally in the kind of shape that I needed to be back in to get out here and grind, because this type of fishing isn't always for the faint of heart. So anyway, y'all stay tuned for some more videos. Thank y'all for tuning in. Smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. And I'll leave a link in the description box to a few other juicy videos that I've done with these guys. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Fish on. Ooh, it's a freaking toad. Golly. There he is. Yeah! Look at that tank!